The Hawks in Mpumalanga have intensified their investigation into an illegal drug laboratory in Volksrust that's being used to produce crystal meth. Now, the Hawks spokesperson in the province, Colonel Ngozi, says the main focus of the investigation now is to find the owner of the farm and the person behind the illegal drug production. Meanwhile, residents of the small town say they've always suspected there might be a local source of drugs, but they never thought it was such a huge operation. Newzroom Africa's Mweli Masilela is there with the latest. A very good afternoon to you, Mweli. As residents there are saying they had their suspicions but didn't understand how big of an illegal operation is happening there. Can you give us a sense of the scale of the size of this illegal operation?
Yes, Masa, we just took a tour of this farm where this illegal drug laboratory was actually discovered by the police. And looking into it, you can see that there's quite a lot of sections where these people were actually processing this end product, crystal meth. And just behind me, Masa, is one of those sections where they were operating. You can see there is a lot of equipment there. You can see there are gas cylinders. There's also quite a number of containers carrying different chemicals that are being used to produce the crystal meth, and many other items that they use in as far as this production is concerned. And this is a big farm. But speaking to the Hawks, since we arrived here, what they are saying that now they are continuing with their investigation, but there's still a lot of questions that are yet to be answered. For example, who is the owner of this farm where this big operation has been taking place? As much as they are still able to get some information, they haven't arrived at the final answer. And also looking into the fact that who is the person actually behind this whole operation. As much as they've made arrests, 6 people being arrested, 6 suspects being arrested, which actually include 5 people from Mexico as well as 1 South African. We're expecting them to be back in court. The last time we were in court, the case was postponed so that they can source an interpreter for them, because these are people who can't speak English. But hopefully tomorrow those people will be able to be represented even illegally. But just to get the latest, let us bring in Lieutenant Colonel Ngozi, who speaks on behalf of the Hawks here in Mpumalanga, to give us an update in terms of what they've done so far. Thank you very much for talking to us. The investigation, how far have you gone so far? The main question at the present moment, have you managed to establish as to who is the owner of this farm and some of the key players in as far as this operation is concerned?
Thanks, Mweli, for having us here, and greetings to your viewers at home. Currently, our investigation team are still on the ground trying to establish who might be the owner of the farm, as well as people who are behind this operation or illegal operation in this farm. Ever since members who were doing Operation Channel 2 discovered this place, members of the Hawks in Mpumalanga's serious organized crime investigation were brought in to carry on with the investigation. We have established or ascertained some of the things that might lead us to the people behind the whole ordeal. Actually, we have even managed to go to the nearby areas like the township and town and try to speak to a number of people, of which we have realized that this drug issue is problematic within this area. As a result, we are hoping that we are going to have a breakthrough in this case. Secondly, I can say we cannot just expect some positive results as for now, because it's too early and our investigators have to gather enough evidence so that it can result in prosecution. If ever we can just jump and arrest other people for now, we might be destroying our case.
If you can just remind us as to how did you manage to crack this case or make a breakthrough, because also this is not the first time you are actually making a breakthrough in terms of a discovery of an illegal lab used to produce drugs here in Mpumalanga.
We are keeping healthy relationship with the committee members out there. For this one, our members, the operation Chanela 2 members received a tip-off, and on when they received the tip-off, they managed to speedily reacted to that information. That's where they've got these 6 suspects who were arrested here, of which is 1 South African, a 61-year-old male, and 5 Mexicans, aged between 28 and 41. So with the good relationship with the community members, it assists us a lot. And after they realized that this is a massive drug bust, there is then involved the Directorate of Property Crime Investigation to carry on with the investigation.
One other thing that people want to know, how did those people, especially the foreign nationals who are suspects in this case, they're Mexicans, how did they manage to get into South Africa from your own investigation, since we understand that the last time they stamped their passports, it was at a port of entry in Malawi?
Mweli, that will form part of our investigation, because when you check their documents, yes, they've got the valid documents, but they've been in the country illegally because they never went through the immigration to come to South Africa. So something might have happened that is either they've been smartly into the country or something else, or they just came on their own. We are busy with that investigation as well. It's not only that we're focusing on this track, but we are checking their presence in the country.
All right, thank you very much for talking to us. Masa, another key aspect in as far as the issue of drugs is concerned is the complaints coming from the community to say that they've always suspected that there is a drug lab operating here, because many people are now hooked into drugs in as far as Volksrust is concerned. Let me bring in one community member, Mtokozi Siende, just to give us an idea in terms of what is happening in as far as that issue is concerned. We went to an area called Gomnyama, if I'm not mistaken. We found a lot of young people there who are hooked into drugs. And as a community, many were saying that they were shocked that there is this drug lab operating here in Volksrust.
Yes, greeting everyone. My point of view is I'm really concerned because at Volksrust we also try to fight this crime, and we end up with the victim of the ones who are fighting crime in Volksrust. Even the policemen know very well that we are the one who are willing to fight those drugs in our location. So I don't know what to do anymore, because even the station commander, we went there with the forum, we call it Tendable. We go there in the police station to tell them where they sell drugs, and they take us for granted. Yes.
How bad is the situation? Because some of the community leaders that you work with are actually saying that the situation is very dire. They understand that there's a high rate of unemployment, but now it looks like there's a huge supply in as far as this drugs is concerned.
Yes, there are huge supply of drugs. Even this one was the part of suppliers. And then I think as a person who are concerned of drugs here in Volksrust, we need to sit down and come up with a solution. How can we fight these things of drugs? Because the thing of the rate of unemployment is the one that is make those people take drugs. That's very dangerous for them. Even in their life, they want to quit these drugs, but they can't because the unemployment. There's nothing that can do to make their place to be safe anymore.
Some people actually say, you are saying that sometimes they do tell the police about what is happening on the ground. I also heard some people saying that as much as they want to talk, they fear for their lives, because some of these people who are selling the drugs are actually living in the community.
Yes, it's true, because once you report them in the police, they come to you, and then there are many people who have been assaulted because of these drugs. And then my concern right now, how can we do it? Because we need each other from now on to fight these drugs, because they kill a lot of young people who have potential. That's my concern. We need to do something about drugs. Yes.
Is it a big worry for you that some of these people who have been arrested are actually from Mexico? Considering the fact that it's known in terms of drugs, what happens in Mexico, the war with some drug cartels there, and some of these people are actually in the community saying that they thought that it was going to be better if they are coming from neighboring countries such as Mozambique or Eswatini, but now these are people from Mexico.
It doesn't matter where they come. Drugs is drugs. No matter we are nearby countries or whatever, but drugs are drugs. They are killing us. Eventually, we need to do something about drugs, because even government must do something about the borders, because you see those people that come from away from the from our neighboring countries. So as a South African, we think we must come together, work together. Even the policemen, they must do something about it. If they take pride from those drug dealers, they must come to an end. Thank you.
All right, thank you for talking to us. That's Mthokozi Siende, one of the community leaders here in Volksrust. We've spoken to quite a number of people on the ground. And of course, those allegations of police sometimes colluding with those who are dealing in drugs always popping in. But I think that we'll always go back to the police and ask if that's something that they are aware of, because some of the community members, as you have heard, they are saying that they do report some of these cases on the ground, but at the end of the day, they get attacked. But also speaking to people, they're saying that Volksrust used to be a very quiet town and a nice town to live in about 5 years ago. But when you look at it at the present moment, there's a lot of crime. There's a lot of young people who have had potential, huge potential to be great people in the future. Now their lives have been destroyed. In fact, we spoke to some of them even actually speaking out to say that when we ask them as to where are they getting these drugs that they're using, they're saying that they are getting them from foreign nationals, some even being specific, saying that some of those people who are selling drugs are from Nigeria. So that's the huge concern from the side of the community. There are some saying that they are doing their best to fight this problem, but seemingly they are not winning. So tomorrow, we're expecting some of those community members to be in court to follow the proceedings, and also we will be following from the side of the Hawks as whether they are now getting more information in as far as this case is concerned. Masa.
Mweli, thank you so much for that update. You can hear the frustration in that resident's voice as well, as he just expresses the plight of residents there who are trying to get the police involved, but they have seemed to fail repeatedly on this matter. But here they have had a green light of sort, because there has been an operation that has been busted that is in Mpumalanga.